syndrome in that if your kid is based around auto attack damage and you're a melee champion, late game's going to be painful for you.
Yes, yes it is. For anybody who doesn't know, AG are from China. In fact, China on the right, I guess it's Taiwan on the left. Is what I should make sure I get right. So Taiwan versus China today. TPS on the left, AG on the right if you are just joining us. This is the first match in a best of 2, of course. That's right, best of 2. Each game will get 1 game on either side, and they're playing for points, ladies and gentlemen. If you win more games, you get more points. That's pretty much how it works. So both teams really want to win at least 1 game, because if you don't win any, you get 0 points. And certainly that second game is very sweet if you can get it there as well. So it's kind of nice. Like you'd think that in a best of 2, for some reason the games might matter less, because in a best of 3, each game, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say, but certainly each game really matters in these group stages, because as I said, it's all points based.
So I'm just watching the bottom lane a bit here. Got JJ mistake against 11 and Coffee. You would expect that AG would be able to gain the ascendancy in terms of pushing in this lane, just because
more Janna. That could be bad news. Yeah. Mistake here. Taking a little bit of damage. Maybe trying to bait Top King away, because Vi has started dragging in and amongst it all. 11 over the top. Their mistake taking a lot of damage, and Top King will clean it up there. God JJ is going to be safe, but diversion effective there from Janna if that was the plan. Xin Zhao looked very close to scouting that out, but a real just solo dragon with about -4 health, it felt like, by the end of it. And Xin Zhao's like, what just happened?
And 2 flashes coming out from AG there means that a potential gank target for Aurel.
That's true. And Vi's going to be pretty happy with a bit of extra experience in there as well from Dragon. That's not normally a neutral minion we talk about junglers doing in their rotations, but Aurel found a way there with a very, very cute Vault Breaker through the back. I mean, that's almost a blue side specific thing as well. But even threw down the pink ward just to make sure.
Again, it just reminds me of the champion that I most think of with Vi, and that's the Demon Jester Shaco.
Yes, he's very sneaky. He loves to do Dragon early as well. But that was, I don't know how calculated that was, but given how little health Aurel had at the end of it, it felt pretty planned. So that's
level 4.
Level 4 indeed. With Madrids and no other items. Maybe a health potion. As mid lane, it could be problems here for next ABC. Orianna going in, throwing out the ball, but no ultimate, and a flash is there from Rise as well, going to keep him safe. Just a Sapphire Crystal right now for next ABC. Level 6 now for Rise as well, so finally he can AoE down these waves, and he does immediately activate it. Wants to clear these out. He kind of sick of Orianna getting in a grill, pushing him in.
Up top we see the turret dart coming in, yeah.
Yeah, Emperor taking quite a bit of damage. The Dancing Blows in the back there again, and that's going to be a second kill there for Olaf. That's 2 ganks before he's hit level 6, and that's made, I think, a pretty big difference here with Vi's just incredible damage output coming into play there.
I called it a turret dive, I was actually mistaken. It was just a skirmish under, and Vi skipped over a wall, and the 2v1 too strong.
Yeah, but what do you think of the Olaf Shen matchup actually, in terms of, maybe especially early on, like in the first 6 levels, who do you think has an advantage in that matchup?
I think Olaf has so many more choices than Shen. I mean, while Shen has that Shadow Dash to reduce physical damage in a duel, I mean, Olaf can max his true damage if he wants to harass. He can max his undertow if he wants to push Shen in, because Shen is a fiercely single target farmer and can't really deal with that. There's so many options he has that he should win the matchup whatever he wants, but look at this.
United up the top, Top King standing in the wrong place, and Aurel just camping like a beast. Assumes Xin Zhao would walk through there. And yeah, pick up yet another kill. So I said Aurel had to do work in the early game. He is a lot of the gold early on here for TPS. So he's doing the work. Just if he can pull the rest of the way through the mid game, then TPS are going to look real hot in this one. But, you know, I guess I gave Aurel the challenge. I threw down the gauntlet, and I think he just kicked it at me, because he is doing a lot of work on Vi here.
And what a way to come back to the lane there. He was trundling along there, Zonda. Saw a gank opportunity, used the ult. Perfectly happy to pick up an assist on the way.
Yeah, and I said in Champ Select there's a bit of a wombo combo there. It's kind of interesting to time, and we haven't seen it enough yet for me to say exactly how it works, but there is some really cool stuff you can do with Assault and Battery plus Stanch United. I mean, much like you can do with any good initiation in Shen's Ultimate, but it's pretty sweet we can get going there, and that is a little wombo combo that I think came into play pretty big there in that top lane game.
Aggressive invade at the same time by TPS on the AG Blue, although AG were able to keep it, they are forced to smite it by Xin Zhao, so Orianna will be without blue unless they coordinate their own invade.
Given that Orianna does have mana problems, she is building a chalice, so that's going to be helpful here for Foxu. But that is definitely good to take away. Rise loves his blue buff as well, so if he can have blue and Oriana doesn't have it, even with that Chalice, that's got to give next ABC an advantage in lane.
Otherwise, I mean, the lane's just looking very healthy for TPS across the board.
Here comes the counter blue steal though. Emperor, yeah, finds next ABC, throws out the undertow. O'Real, I think, finished it up. No, I think, no. Vi did get it, knowing that the rest of them were coming in, and there's plenty of damage in the back of Rise there to clean him up. So no blue there for AG. They'll trade one apiece, actually, but kind of mission accomplished down the bottom as Janna goes down here as well. Through the power of Sona and Ezreal. God JJ, he's farming reasonably well here, even with Ezreal right now, but all the pushing they were doing before must have slipped up a little, because that Janna, normally very, very slippery and hard to take down, got herself picked off there. In part, definitely due to 11's ultimate there, which you can see is currently off on cooldown.
And the lanes have been pulling away for TPS, so that was nice to pick up that invade kill and the kill down bottom.
Yep, and kind of the same principles, or denying that blue, so it's going to be blueless for both these champions. And again, they are building for mana or mana regen with Rise and Oriana respectively. They do have different concerns about their mana pools. Rise wants his to be as large as possible. Oriana could be in trouble here in the mid as she wants as much mana regen as possible. Assault and Battery going to come in under the tower there for Foxy as he flashes in. Next ABC, they're going to follow up. Command Shockwave, not nearly enough. And O'Real with a 4th straight kill for himself. Going to pick up even more damage here on Vi. And that's without major damage items, really. I mean, Berserker Reaves is kind of a nice aggressive touch, but that is just all Vi-based damage pretty much.
And picking up the Doran Shield and the armor just to be better at turret diving, to be honest.
Yeah, Doran Shield is actually one of those items I think aggressive junglers don't buy enough of, but as you said, it's great for brawling with champions, it's great for diving, which is, you know, kind of a good gank item. And I like that O'Real, expecting to do a lot of aggression and diving with his ultimate, has gone that way there.
The one thing that prevents junglers sort of from picking up is the passive only works on champion basic attacks.
Yes.
Ninja Tabi was changed to be all basic attacks, and Ninja Tabi became much more attractive for junglers, but Doran Shields remain the same.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to brawl...
Yeah, I mean, look, it's still going to be very useful. Still
O'Real. Again, Foxy taking a lot of damage. The Roomp isn't out in there as well. Vi still going in. Could lose here. Taking quite a bit of damage. Stand united by Shen for a little bit of shield. Next ABC, possibly not so lucky. But O'Real's going to recall in that sneaky spot behind the bush. Rise will go down there to top king. Here comes 11.
They're in a horrible
Yeah,
spot.
Zonder is trapped between many, many people. And kind of trying to protect the killing spree, I guess. Zonder then picks up 11. Crescendo not enough. As Shadow Dash comes in. Cogmore in there as well. As God JD picks up a kill. And Coffee.
Fantastic collapse by the bot lane there.
Yeah, really nice movement from both bottom lanes there. And TPS just had a little edge there as they moved in. That Sunfire kept Shen with a very fast Sunfire, I might add here. At less than 11.5 minutes into the game. That was a really, really nice move in there from Zonder. And what a save as well on Vi.
Yeah, I thought, you know, I had my camera pointed so that I thought that was okay. They'll swap Zonda for O'Real here just because O'Real had such a killing spree going, but bot collapsed in a wonderful way and they come out looking like gold.
Yeah, couple of kills and a dragon, not to mention saving absolutely everybody but Rise. He died. Someone had to go, and it was next ABC. I'm sure feels pretty hard done by all that. Yes, it is though. We return to bottom lane now as Cogmore with a red buff now actually as well out of that exchange. Although he may have had it earlier, I'm not exactly sure. Returns to CS up here against Ezreal. Again, they're very even here in the bottom lane. In fact, they've got identical scores as well at 1-0-1 and almost identical CS in there as well, with some very minor discrepancies currently in favor of God JJ. But I mean, you know, God JJ, we mentioned how good of a player he is. Coffee not taking it lying down here at all. He is definitely fighting here very, very valiantly. And here comes all left down as well. Looks like they're going for a gank in. There's a tornado going to shut it off. Ragnarok a little bit late there from Emperor, and Undertow not going to catch anybody as up in the top lane. Vi again is at it. That's another kill there for Zonda this time, but O'Real still involved in all the craziness.
It seems like our Garena friends have gone and been scumbags again. Pastry time, Dojo by chat.
No.
They're 3 minutes ahead of us.
Why
I don't
would
even
they
know
be
if that's
3
how
minutes
that's
ahead of
possible,
us?
but
I don't know how either, because we have a 2-minute delay on the stream, not 3.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
That's okay. That's okay. Shout out to Garena. Top lane turret goes down in there as well, and as I said, O'Real needs to get some work done, and this is something you can do on Vi, is really start snowballing your team by just ulting people that are behind and getting kill after kill for your team. Do you think the fact that O'Real has so much of the gold
we're
here
watching a mid lane Pastry. It's
gonna happen again? Yeah, goodbye Foxy.
And probably the saddest indictment of all of this is if we have a look at the top lane matchup. Emperor against Zonda. Emperor at 52 CS, despite the fact that Shen's been porting all around. He's tried to make things happen in Olaf. He was key to that invade, but really, really struggling for goal at this point.
And now blue buff going to get stolen away here from TPS. Mid turret goes down as well as O'Real picks that one up. And this should go to Rise without a hitch. Looks like it. Oh man, that's bad news for Top King. Gets Rune Prison there after the Howling Gale.
Look at how many wards are around that brush, basically.
Yes. 5 total around that bit of brush.
And one sneaky one above the top as well.
And oh yeah. Wow. Just above. North of Xinjiao's now corpse. Vision. Vision is very powerful. Very, very powerful indeed. But yeah, from what I said before, do you think it's a problem that O'Real has so much of the gold here from TPS? Because if we tab over to the gold, we can see that he is actually not that much richer than everybody else. That kind of surprises me.
He hasn't been farming very much, which, you know, as a jungler to be expected, especially when you have 8 score involvements out of 10. But no, it's never a bad thing for the jungler to get ahead. In fact, especially early, you want your jungler to pick up a kill if he comes for a level 3 gank or an early skirmish, just because the reality of the gold situation means that eventually he'll be a bit starved. Junglers always are usually just maybe 1k or a little bit of gold ahead of the supports, so not a bad thing at all. And if you can get this far ahead, you can be both tanky and do damage late game, which is a perfect spot for Vi.
Exactly, and that is not something that Vi gets to do all that often, so O'Real here in a great position early on. Red buff steal.
Wonderful red steal from Mistake.
Nice, and just a second behind you, so I'll speed up a
Level
little.
1 Q.
Level 1 Q gets it done. Now TPS are going to take all the momentum that they've gotten early on in this game. They're going to take their pretty substantial gold lead here, and they're going to try and do a very fast Baron. Mistake does have an Oracle's up as well, so exclusive vision around the pit, and looks like nobody else even smells it before it gets down there. I mean, who checks Baron at 15 minutes? AG probably wish they had now, because that is a... I don't say this often, but that is a free Baron for the Taipei Snipers.
And a style choice. It's just a style play from TPS. They realized where they were at in the game, the gold lead, and they thought, hey, let's just do this and try and close it out early.
Yeah, I mean, even if AG did sniff it out, then probably not a bad idea. TPS happy to fight in that situation, I think. And this is very bad news for all Gamers fans, unfortunately. They're looking quite behind now in this game. Close to 10,000 in the hole at about 16 minutes. As Shen begins his split push up in top lane. He's level 12, so level 2 Stand United's going to come out as well. And if Shen joins this party with a Vi riding in there as well, this could be bad news. There's a Rune Prison going down. 11 gets obliterated there, and they're just trying to initiate, but a great disengage there from Mistake. O'Real coming in there as well. Zonda joins the party as he's ulted in. Assault and Battery finally used there under Coffee, and that's a very clean ace. Oh, never mind. I actually missed. Monsoon did not get used there. Mistake just used it for a bit of reset value. Must have been a Howling Gale, but wow. What a clean ace there. Under an AG turret nonetheless there for the Taipei Snipers.
Just so much style from Taipei Snipers here. They've won every lane. Snowballed lovely, just wonderfully by O'Real with his Vi play here. You've got to have to expect a Vi ban coming out next game.
Yeah, I don't think anybody...
TPS on fire.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the really nice things about TPS is, even though they are a fairly young team, I mean, there's plenty of good, well-known players, plenty of veteran players. Mistake certainly, I think, stands out as one of the best-known players. I know GodJJ has a lot of fans as well, and I'm sure he's been playing for a while. But TPS have not been around all that long. You know, they were formed late last year, I guess, as announced.
I want to say December?
Yeah, it seems like quite late last year in 2012. They were formed, announced as the B team for the Taipei Assassins, and they've shown just incredible execution for a team that's arguably so young here. As Zonda could get himself caught out in a Shadow Dash there. Top King, decides not to chase it on. They've got maybe some undertows there from Olaf, but they don't really want to have to mess with Shen or anybody else that might be around.
No, he had his flash up as well, so he was safe, whatever he wanted to do.
And now he's back. He feels very safe, and he probably is, as he noted. Very close to a Warmogs here, I think. Could be building something else. But I'm
It'd be interesting to me whether GodJJ picks up the static Shiv on Kog'Maw, rushes that as a rule, or whether that was partly due to the want to establish some Baron pressure. Obviously, he had level 9 maxed W, which does the percentage damage to the Baron available to him. Static Shiv is actually a pretty good item to rush on Kog'Maw. He doesn't have too much wave clear, so if he were to pick that up...
Oh man, Assault and Battery, Foxy, you completely demolished.
and it also, it synergizes well with the magic damage in his W. So it's a nice pickup, but I just wonder if it's situational.
Coffee getting caught by Rune Prison there as well. Arcane shifts out of the way, but Real chases him down with the Volt Breaker, going to pick him off. Emperor now getting chased in there as well. Ragnarok activated, but the damage still coming in. TPS are still pushing and going to take their second inhibitor of the game, and I have to think that AG are probably going to tap out here in this game. And that's Top King leaving. And this is not something we see very often yet. I was going to say this isn't something we see very often, but this is a pre-20-minute surrender, which can only happen in a custom game, really. But TPS are going to finish this game before the 20-minute mark. And what class, what a performance to open up here in this first game. And it's back to the drawing board for the All Gamers, because that was brutal from the Taipei Snipers.